Well, what's up, everybody? My name is Joshua, and this is Bold Follower, and I'm here to share with you another gospel illustration you can use when sharing about Jesus to somebody. Now, as always, the Bible is number one, but sometimes these illustrations are nice as well. This came from Nations Church, but I'm sure they're not the first person to come up with this story. This is about a super wealthy art collector and his butler. The super wealthy art collector had a butler and a great relationship with him, and this super wealthy art collector had essentially this gallery that was loaded with priceless works, just ridiculous valued works. You're talking about original Monets and Van Goghs and Da Vinci's and the finest sculptures. These things were just beyond what any normal person could afford. They were just so valuable. And this man had a great relationship with this butler. This man ended up having a son. He had a son, and when he was looking at his son, he said, man, I would really like a painting of my son. I have all these other paintings of these other works. Why not him? So the man goes to somebody in town, just kind of a nobody, and just asks, hey, would you mind just painting a picture of my son, a portrait of my son? And so he gets a portrait of his son made, which is good timing because unfortunately something happened to the son and he passed away. So son died, leaving the old man and his painting collection and the butler. Well, after some time, the old man passed away too. And the butler was very sad because he loved the old man and he loved the son. So what ended up happening is when they were sorting out all of the affairs of what happens when somebody passes away, they decided they were going to do what was in the will, which was do an auction for all that he owns, right? So you've got a group of people all together for this auction. He's going to auction off the things that he owns, and they're all sitting there. You've got super wealthy people, but in the back is the butler, who loved the son and loved the father. And the auctioneer starts off and says, first we're going to auction off this piece. He unveils it, and what is it? It is the painting of the son. It was the painting of the son that was done by the unknown artist, right? Not the Da Vinci, not the Van Gogh, right? Not the Rembrandt. It was that painting. And everybody looks at you and says, well, I don't want that. I'm here for the Van Gogh, right? I'm here for the Da Vinci. And so the auctioneer starts it at $1,000. There's $1,000. And everyone's just looking at, we don't want this. Nobody wants this. And the butler's back there, and he realizes that he's pretty poor. He doesn't have a job anymore because working for the man who's deceased, he now has no job. He doesn't have a lot of money, but he does have $1,000. And so he raises his hand, says, I will buy the painting of the son. I will buy the son for $1,000. So the auctioneer says, okay, and looks for somebody else. Anybody else? Goes 1,200? Nope. 1,100? Nope. 1,050? Nope. All right. Sold to the man in the back for $1,000, and then says, all right, guys, we're done. We're closing up shop. Everybody was confused. What? We're done with the auction? What about the Monets? What about the Van Goghs? What about these priceless artifacts? Well, what was interesting is the auctioneer says, I had very specific instructions. My instructions were to start the auction with the son, and whoever takes the son takes everything else. And so that butler, though he didn't have much, gave everything he had for the son, and getting the son, he ended up getting all the other priceless artifacts as well. And that's just one of those stories of the gospel, how we sometimes want this or that or these things or whatever it is that we desire, when in reality, and you can actually look in scripture, God says to Abraham, I am your exceedingly great reward. There's so many scriptures about Jesus being that reward. And so when we look at the gospel, we can see all these things that we want in this life. But if we don't have the son, we don't have anything. And on the flip side, if we have the son, we have everything and more. Life abundantly, everything we could need and more. So I encourage you with that story. Hopefully it'll help you share Jesus with somebody. Bless you guys. Peace.